What's happening, you guys? Today's mobility class, we're going to be working on our hips, something that we all know we need to spend a little bit more time paying attention to, giving some extra love to, opening up, working on flexibility, mobility. So we're just going to focus on the hips. There's a lot of different muscles that play into these things. So hopefully what we do will kind of affect some of those in a way that gives you some more range of motion, makes you feel a little bit better, and loosens up some of the stuff that gets tight. So the hips are the focus today. We're going to start with just a little test. I want you guys to stand up and then just sit into the bottom of your squat. This is merely just to give you a start point. We'll retest at the end. So just notice where you're at. So if I hop into the bottom of my squat with my heels down, I just noticed that like my heels right now, they want to peel up. Like I'm feeling like my heels, I want to rock forward. I'm feeling like I'm having to hunch forward a lot to keep my balance. So just kind of do just a quick little test, just see how moving around in this position feels. Do you feel pretty good already, or does it feel a little tight? Just think on where you feel like you could maybe improve, and then we'll retest this thing again at the end. So we're gonna start in a supine pigeon stretch. So I'm gonna lay on my back. I'm gonna put my right ankle on top of my left knee. Then I'm gonna reach through my legs, grab a hold of my shin, and just lay back. Okay, so there's a few things we can do here. If you wanna take your right hand and put it inside your knee, and then just kind of push your knee away nice and gently, you can do that a few times. Just get some movement through the hip. Nice and easy. This should definitely not hurt the knee. Do a couple of these. Maybe you just want to lay back and just get that gentle stretch. This is a good one just for working on rotation in the hip. So I'm not just opening it or closing it, but we're actually working on making sure that it rotates properly. I'm going to be here for a minute. Maybe you rock your weight from side to side. Maybe you grab the back of the leg, your left leg, and then extend and bend a few times. Pull back towards you. All right, and then let's switch it up. So now my left ankle goes on top of my right leg. Grab a hold of my right leg, pull it back towards me, nice and gently. I'm just gonna let my head relax down. Hang out for just a quick sec. Then I'm gonna stay holding on to my shin with my right hand, and I'm gonna take my left hand and just kind of gently push my knee away a couple times. So bring it back towards me, and then push it away. Just a few of these. Grab a hold of the back of my right hamstring, extend and bend a few times, just get some movement through that leg while I'm working on the rotation of my left. And I'll just grab my shin and pull back gently for the last 10 seconds of this one. All right, next up, we're gonna get into what I call a crouch. So not exactly a squat, or it could be like a bad squat, depending on how you look at it. Your heels are gonna be up off the ground. So I'm gonna put my elbows on top of my knees, and I'm just gonna give myself a second in this position. So my hips and my knees are in a position similar to what a squat might look like. My knees are flexed probably about to the same level. My hips, not quite as much, but my ankles are getting a little bit of extra stretch here. So I'm gonna push my left knee forward, push down on top of that leg so that I close the angle of my ankle here. And then I switch. My left heel plants, my right knee pushes forward as I gently lean down my body weight on top of my knee. I'm just going back and forth a few times. Nice and easy as I work through these things. Back and forth a couple times. Maybe let your heels plant all the way down. All right, next up, we're gonna get into a lunge. I'm gonna go left foot forward first. Okay, so I'm here, left foot's forward, my hands are inside my knee. All I'm gonna do is let my weight rock forward, and then I'm gonna sit back. And I'm just gonna go back and forth between a bent leg and a straight leg. So when I straighten it, I feel some tension go through the back of it. That's what I'm looking for. Those of you that are flexible might be able to keep your hands even further forward. If I go too far forward, I can't get my leg to straighten, so I gotta walk my hands back a little bit. So we're just finding that position where when my leg is straight, I feel a little bit of tension in the back of it. Maybe you can grab a hold of your foot, pulling your foot back towards you might provide some extra tension. Maybe you absolutely hate that. That might be a little bit too much. Nice and easy here. Just getting a few extensions. You guys go at your pace. Find the tension that's right for you, but just find a little bit of tension. And then we're going to switch. Right foot forward, left knee goes to the ground. I rock my way back. My hamstring on the right side, mine is definitely tighter on the right than the left. So I'm not gonna be able to like grab my foot, or I can barely grab it. It's kind of pathetic, nobody make fun of me. But same thing here, you guys find the tension that's right for you. Just make sure that when your leg goes straight, that you feel a little bit of pull in the back of the leg. That's what we're going for. So bend, go off tension, straighten, squeeze your quad. That helps to extend the leg even further. Back and forth a few times here. We're going to be going back and forth in this basic lunge shape for a couple minutes. So we're going to add a little bit of different twist to them each time. We've got 15 more seconds. The next one we're going to do is we're going to go to a lunge. We'll go left foot forward again. I'm going to elevate my front foot. So I'm going to grab one of these books here, put my foot on that, and we're going to go down to our elbows if we can. So I'm going to switch. I'm going to go left foot forward, okay? I put my foot up on the book just to change the angle of the way that my foot sits just a little bit. I'm going to scoot my right knee a little bit further back. If you guys want to drop all the way down to your elbows, you can, but keep your elbows pretty close to the inside of your foot. If this is too much, you can come up to your right elbow and push your left knee away with your left hand. Whatever feels best for you. We got another 40 seconds here, just kind of hanging out. If it helps, you can scoot your right knee back even further. That might give you a little bit further stretch. The purpose of the book is just to exaggerate the position, the angle of your hips just a little bit. It's pretty subtle, but it does make a difference. Last 10 seconds here. All right, you guys, we're going to switch nice and easy. Come on out of that. Book goes to the other side of your mat, in front of the other foot. My foot gets set up on the book. I'm going to scoot that left knee back, and then I'm just dropping down to my elbows again, hanging out. Again, if being on both elbows is too much, you can keep your left elbow planted, put your right hand inside your right knee and push it away. Move your hips from side to side a couple times. We got about 30 more seconds here. Last 10 seconds. All right, you guys slowly make your way on out of that. Last thing we're doing is we're going to get into a lunge. I'm going back to the left side, and I'm going to add in that quad stretch that we do sometimes. So left foot forward, right knee stays on the ground. I reach up and over my left knee. I grab a hold of my right foot and pull it back towards my butt, okay? So the more I pull back, the more stretch I get in the front of that hip. You guys find the tension that's right for you. If you can't grab your foot, if it's just too much, leave that foot on the ground. Just get into the deepest lunge that you can. That's a good sub for this one. So you can sit your hips back to go off tension, then push your hips down and forward, squeeze, flex your glutes, sit back, rock forward. All right, let's switch sides. Left foot comes back, right foot comes forward, left knee drops to the ground. I reach up and over my right knee, grab a hold of my left foot, pull it back towards my butt. See if you can change the position of your back leg. Maybe pull your foot in a little bit closer. Maybe squeeze that left glute. Go back and forth between off tension when my hip sits back and then on tension when I push my hip down and forward. We got about another 15 seconds to go here. All right, you guys got another 10 seconds. We're doing banded hamstring extensions next. I forgot my band. right, you guys, so go ahead and lay down onto your back. I need a band here so you can pause the video if you don't have one. If you're as forgetful as I am, I'm gonna lay on my back. I'm gonna put the band around the bottom of my foot, okay? Go to the toe edge of your foot, and we're just gonna spend 2 minutes just bending and extending per side, okay? So I bend and extend. We're gonna go 1 minute on this side, then switch to 1 minute on the other, and we'll go through that twice. Otherwise, all the blood drains out of your foot, your feet fall asleep, and that's not fun. So what we're going for is when you extend, you should feel tension in the back of your leg. If you don't, pull your leg back a little bit further. That will create that tension. So bend takes off tension. When you extend, that should put tension there. Bend and extend, bend and extend. Total of 2 minutes per side. We'll be alternating on the minute, so we got just a few more on this side, then we switch. All right, you guys, switch sides. So now I'm on my left foot. I just lay back, start with my leg bent, no tension. This is not uncomfortable at all. And then I straighten and find a little bit of stretch in the back of the leg. So just pause when you extend. It shouldn't be any kind of fast motion. Just extending, squeezing your quads to extend the leg a little bit. It should be a nice stretch from the calf all the way up through the hamstring. So some of the muscles, the hamstring especially affect the hip, going all up through the back of your leg. A few more here. Ten more seconds. All right, you guys, switch it up. We'll go back to the right side. We got 1 more minute here, and we switch again and go back to 1 more minute on the left. You got over 15 seconds to go. Do a few more. Bend and extend. Find some gentle tension in the back of your leg on the extension of each rep. All right, switch sides. We're going to do a wide-legged forward fold after this. So we'll set the band aside. Not even 30 seconds to go here. Just a few more. Extend, find some tension, bend, and relax that tension off. Extend, find tension, bend, relax the tension off. A few more of these. We got another 10 seconds to go. We'll get into that wide-legged forward fold. We're going to do a little bit of moving around there. All right, you guys, that's 2 minutes per side, so set the band aside. We're going to get into a wide-legged forward fold, but we're going to be moving, okay? We're going to be here for 2 minutes. I got my feet out pretty wide. My toes can point out a little bit. I'll start with my legs locked, and I'm just going to move my hands off to the left as I bend my left knee a little bit. So when I move to the left, I feel a little stretch on the inside of my right leg. Now I'm going to move to the right, feel a little stretch on the inside of my left leg. I'm going to go back and forth a few times, and as I get going, I'm going to start to increase the bend in my bending leg. So I'm going to sit all the way into a squat, but my hands are never leaving the ground. So this is never really a position that feels like I'm doing too much work to be here. It's pretty passive, it's just a stretch. So my hands kind of sit back behind me as I go from side to side, nice and slow. My hands are always there for support. Check out the position of my knee relative to my ankle. It's pushing out just like it would be for any other squat. I feel a pretty significant stretch on the adductors on the leg that's extended. My toes on the extended leg point up. And then I just rock back to the other side. Now I gotta work on the bad side. My right side so bad. Back and forth, you guys, nice and slow. We got less than a minute to go here. Use those hands for support. Again, we're not like doing reps here. We're just trying to spend some time in this shape on each side. Moving slowly, nice and gently. Try to keep your heel on the ground, whatever foot you're squatting on. That heel ideally should stay flat, so think about that as you move. Back and forth, nice and slow. Guys, next thing we're doing is we're going to move into the pigeon stretch. So we'll do 2 minutes per side. I'll go on my left side first. My left foot's forward. I'm just going to kind of let my shin tip to the side. My right foot's back behind me. I'm going to start by walking my hands back alongside my hips. All right, so I'm just kind of getting my torso to vertical, just getting my hips in a position where I feel that little bit of rotation in the front of my left hip. And then from here, if you guys feel most comfortable staying up, you can do that. If you want to fold forward, that's fine. But make sure that you're feeling a little bit of rotation in your hip, okay, before you fold forward. Maybe you need to change the position of your hips a little bit, rock your way from side to side a little. We're gonna spend 2 minutes here. We got about 1.5 minutes to go. And just hang out, whatever position feels best for you. Maybe crawl your hands off towards your knee. Maybe crawl them off towards your foot. That changes it. See what position feels best for you. If you want a more intense stretch, search around for that. If you want something that's a little bit less, search around for that. You guys find the position that's going to give you the most beneficial use of your time here. We got about 10 more seconds. We're gonna come out of this nice and slowly. I just like to roll onto the outside of whichever hip I'm stretching. So I'm gonna roll onto the outside of my left hip. Think about like sitting on my left butt. I'm gonna swing my right leg around, get that situated the way that I want, and then I kick my left leg back behind me and hop into the stretch on the other side. So we're gonna be here for 2 minutes. Set it up, you guys. Walk your hands back. Try to get your torso to vertical if you can. Feel for that stretch before you worry about folding forward. Make sure that you're not feeling any knee pain. If this is too much, you can go back to the supine pigeon that we did at the start of class. Then fold yourself forward, hang out for a second here. If you need to change the position of your upper body to further the stretch, walk your hands to the right or to the left. We've got about 45 more seconds to go. You guys roll onto your right hip, Ooh, nice and slow, come on out of it. So the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna retest. We sat into our squat when we started. We're gonna do that again just to see if you guys notice any change. So just stand on up, find your squat stance, shoulder width apart. You're gonna sit down into the bottom of your squat, see if you feel any differences. Okay, I noticed that I don't have to kind of lean quite as far. My ankles feel a little bit better. We're just gonna hang out here for the remaining time in this minute, just kind of rocking our weight from side to side. As always, if you feel one of these stretches feels like it's specifically productive for you, or maybe if it feels like you just find more tension there than the other ones, maybe use that one more often. Add it to the list of things that you want to work on once or twice per week and see if you can kind of slowly move the ball forward a little bit. Certainly worthy places to just kind of take note of what's working well for you. If you find ones that like feel really easy and they're not quite as beneficial, maybe you spend a little bit less time on those. But it's still good to work on kind of just keeping yourself moving and working through all these things, even the ones that don't feel quite as challenging. All right, and that takes us to the end of class. Nice work, you guys. You made it through, you did it. Another one, 20 minutes down. Remember that you don't have to stretch for super long time to get in some beneficial work. You did it. That's over with. That wasn't so bad. I'm not even sweating after that. If you guys ever have questions, if you're ever curious as to how to work on this or why does that feel so bad, feel free to shoot us a note. We can always answer them as best we know how. Yeah, get in touch if you have questions. Hope you guys are feeling good after taking on class. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day.